Hello friends, welcome back to Code with Roy. Today's video will be a short one. We'll be learning about Swagger today and we'll be demonstrating how it works. So what is Swagger? You can see the definition here. So this is basically a very good concept for Spring Boot. So say in a team there are different team members are writing different microservices. Say I am writing one microservice called order service and my teammate is writing another microservice called payment service, and there may be more and more microservices are written by different team members. But how do we know? I cannot keep asking my team member, like, okay, what are you uh, writing every day and what are the changes and what are the endpoints and what it takes, means what are the arguments I have to pass to call your payment endpoint. So the concept is Swagger. So Swagger will give us the definition of the means our Spring Boot microservices, and it will give us a way to test it. So let's see how we can implement Swagger. So to implement Swagger, basically we need one. So here we have one microservice called payment service. We'll be implementing Swagger into this microservice. So to add Swagger to any of your Spring Boot application or microservice, uh, the dependency we need is Spring Doc OpenAI starter webmvc.ui. So this is the dependency we need to add. That's it. So this is the only dependency we need to add Swagger to your microservice or to your Spring Boot application. So I just added this dependency here, and then in application.yml for that uh, microservice, I need to add these particular entries. It says Spring Doc API docs enable true, path will be API doc. So if my microservice is running on localhost 8082 port, so I should be able to see the API docs by hitting localhost 8082 slash API docs in this path. This is the path. If I change it to enable true, I should be able to see the API docs. And the Swagger UI. So Swagger UI is basically gives us all the informations, and the testing means if we can test through a Postman, we don't need Postman. Basically using Swagger UI only we can test the microservice. So we'll be seeing now how to test it. So for now I have added this dependency and these entries in my application.yml. So I have enabled Spring Doc and Swagger UI true. Now let's first run the Eureka because I want means this microservice will register itself to Eureka. I can run it separately as well, but I'll run it through Eureka. Means I'll be running Eureka and that microservice both. So I'm running Eureka and then I'll be running this service as well, payment service. So I'll be running this one as well. Where Eureka is running, it is okay. Both started 8761. I think, yeah, this is where Eureka is running 8761. So let's hit that localhost 8761. What happened? Why Eureka is still not up? Yep, now Eureka is up. So if you see, Eureka is up and there is no application instance available. Now it is coming up. So I have now payment service. If you see, payment service is here. So payment service is also running on localhost 8082. I even can separately use, means I can invoke the payment service using Eureka, means service registry, or I can separately invoke that payment service as well. So let's separately invoke that 8082 1, I think 8081 or 82, 8082, 8082, and this is the URL. Just to see this controller, if I come to this payment service payment controller, so if you see request mapping is payment, pay, and then I'm passing the order ID. So if I pass order ID 2, so this response is coming from payment controller. So I'm hitting the payment service. Now to see the API documents, if I do this slash API docs, I should be seeing the documentation of the API. Yep. So here it is. This is the documentation of the API. It gives us all the informations. And then if you see, it has all those information, OpenAI 3 point, which version I'm using, title is OpenAI definition, version server, it's where it's running on localhost 8082, description generate server API. What we have, this is the URL path, so this is the endpoint, and it's a get call, so everything it's giving. So this is, with this documentation one can understand that okay, to invoke the payment service I have to invoke this URL, and to test it we have another endpoint. So like API docs, we have Swagger UI endpoint. So yeah, here it is, Swagger UI. So if we click this one, this is that endpoint, Swagger UI endpoint, and this will gives us all the details and the testing mechanism. So I can even test it here. So if you see, this is a get API payment pay order ID, and to test it I have to click this try it out. I have to pass a order ID, say I'm passing order ID 003, and if I execute it, this is same as Postman. You see this response is 200. So response is success. I see the response body. It says payment successful for order ID 003, and this is directly coming from this payment controller. So I am able to hit payment controller. Payment successful for order ID 003 is getting printed here. So this is how Swagger helps us for development. But now say this is a get call. There could be a post call which could be invoked through Swagger UI, but we don't want someone to invoke that post call in a higher environment. Say in production environment, we don't want to enable this Swagger UI. So then the solution is this code base will be same. It will be available in your local environment or staging environment, but in production you don't want to do that. Then simply here we have to mark it as false. Then say in production environment we just change it as false, and then what we'll do, will be restarting this one payment service, and you'll see it's no more working. So this is how we can configure Swagger UI and API docs through Swagger. I'll just demonstrate once. So I think this is up and running now. Now if I do this, if I hit this Swagger UI, you see this is not even working now. API doc, same thing, it's not even working now. So this is a very awesome concept for Spring Boot, this Swagger. Using Swagger we can see the documentation of an API, and we can even test an API, and this is very useful in development phases. So I hope you liked the video and you understood the concept of Swagger. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and share this video to your friends. Thank you. Bye.